NBA centers who have won the Finals MVP. Let's play Full Court, baby, your go-to channel for the most interesting basketball topics. It's time to find out which centers took home the coveted Finals MVP award. It's incredible to think that it's been 2 decades since a center has won Finals MVP, implying that it's extremely difficult for a center to lead his team to a title in the contemporary era. Of course, the NBA has evolved significantly over time to accommodate guards and forwards. Nonetheless, centers have proven to be the most dominant players in the game of basketball, owing to their stature and commanding presence. A superstar center is large enough to have a physical influence on the game, while those with exceptional abilities may have a huge impact on other parts of the court. From rebounding the ball to scoring at least 20 points per game efficiently, centers in the present day are expected to stretch the floor, and defensive versatility is essential when it comes to defending numerous spots and doing multiple things on the court. From the beginning of the NBA to the end of the 2022 season, we will be mentioning who the Finals MVP winners at the center position were. It will be evident that big men have historically had a huge influence on the court. However, this has shifted in recent years. Without further ado, here is every Finals MVP award winner at the center position in NBA history. 1969-70 Finals MVP, Willis Reed. Finals statistics: 23 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game. In the 1970 NBA Finals, the New York Knicks faced up against a rampaging Los Angeles Lakers squad headed by Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain. The Lakers looked frightening on the floor in many ways, with 2 all-time great players on the perimeter and inside the paint. West was outstanding in the finals, scoring 31.3 points per game and 7.7 assists per game, while Wilt Chamberlain, 23.3 points per game and 24.1 rebounds per game. This should have been enough, but Willis Reed's influence was too powerful. The Knicks' clutch big men held his own, averaging 23 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game, and 2.8 assists per game in 37.7 minutes per game. Despite being the greatest player on the squad, Reed missed Game 6 due to injury and was a shadow of himself in Game 7 of the Finals as his teammates came through for him. Walt Frazier scored 36 points to help the team win 113-99. Reed received the Finals MVP award for his leadership and efforts. 1970-71 Finals MVP, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Finals statistics: 27 points per game, 18.5 rebounds per game, and 2.8 assists per game. For the second year in a row, a center was named Finals MVP. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar earned the Finals MVP and the NBA title in only his second NBA season. During the regular season, the center was phenomenal, averaging 31.7 points per game and 16 rebounds per game to earn his first scoring championship and MVP honor. He elevated his game by delivering on the grandest stage of them all, the 1971 Finals, when he was just 23 years old. Kareem was the difference maker in a showdown with the Baltimore Bullets, dominating the paint. The superstar center averaged 27 points per game, 18.5 rebounds per game, and 2.8 assists per game in 42 minutes, while shooting 60.5% from the field. Kareem was simply unstoppable, and the Bullets only had Jack Marin, 18.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and Earl Monroe to contend with, 16.3 points per game and 4 assists per game. But it was clearly Kareem's turn, and he won his first Finals MVP award. 1971-72 Finals MVP, Wilt Chamberlain. Finals statistics: 19.4 points per game, 23.2 rebounds per game, and 2.6 assists per game. Wilt Chamberlain won his first NBA title with the Philadelphia 76ers in 1967, but his only Finals MVP award came in 1972 with the Los Angeles Lakers. Wilt finally received the award that had been missing from his impressive profile at the age of 35. Wilt averaged 19.4 points per game and 23.2 rebounds per game for the Lakers, who also had strong contributions from Jerry West, 19.8 points per game, 8.8 assists per game, and Gail Goodrich, 25.6 points per game. Chamberlain owned the paint, outscoring Walt Frazier and the New York Knicks, 23 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and 8 assists per game. Wilt was an immovable force inside, grabbing nearly every rebound that came off the basket, while also making it impossible to score. Wilt's contribution meant everything for the Lakers, as Jerry West also won his lone title, despite hitting 60% of his shots from the field and consenting to be third scoring option on the team in the series. Finally, in his second-to-last NBA season, Chamberlain was named Finals MVP. 1972-1973 Finals MVP, Willis Reed. Final statistic, 16.4 points per game, 9.2 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists per game. Willis Reed of the New York Knicks won the Finals MVP award for the second time in his career. Reed averaged 16.4 points per game and 9.2 rebounds per game as the Los Angeles Lakers were defeated in 5 games. The Lakers were led once again by Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, and Gail Goodrich. But Wilt was 36, West was 34, and the Knicks were simply a better balanced club. Reed was the undisputed team leader, ranking third in points and second in rebounds. The Knicks won 3 straight tight games after losing Game 1 to end the series in 5 games. Finally, Game 5 was a blowout, with New York winning 102-93, courtesy to Willis Reed's 18-point, 12-rebound, and 7-assist effort. Reed embodied leadership as he won his second Finals MVP award, as well as his second NBA title with the iconic Knicks franchise. 1976-77 Finals MVP, Bill Walton. Final statistics, 18.5 points per game, 19 rebounds per game, 5.2 assists per game, 1 steal per game, and 3.7 blocks per game. Bill Walton was the best big man for the Portland Trail Blazers, dominating the paint and performing a ton of things on the floor at a superstar level, including using his leadership abilities, defending, and rebounding. In such areas, he was pretty much unstoppable, and he completely dominated the NBA Finals in 1977. During the NBA Finals, he maintained his dominance, defeating the Philadelphia 76ers in 6 games with 18.5 points per game, 19 rebounds per game, and 3.7 blocks per game. Walton was unquestionably a dominant presence on the floor, earning his first MVP award in the Finals. Not to mention, the 6'11" big man won the Finals MVP award at the age of 24, putting him ahead of the game in terms of maturity. Unfortunately, Bill Walton would not be able to keep fit since he only played at least 80 games once when he was 33 years old. Based on his early success, Bill may have gone down as the top 5 center of all time if he could have stayed healthy for most of his career. 1977-78 Finals MVP, Wes Unseld. Finals statistics, 9 points per game, 11.7 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game, 0.6 steals per game, and 0.1 blocks per game. The Washington Bullets won a thrilling 7-game series against the Seattle Supersonics thanks to their excellent front court. Wes Unseld was the show's headliner, dominating the paint for the Bullets with 9 points per game, 11.7 rebounds per game, and 3.9 assists per game, with Elvin Hayes, 20.7 points per game, 11.9 rebounds per game. In reality, the Bullets were loaded with a ton of two-way guys who were extremely professional. Meanwhile, Seattle had its own superstars. Fred Brown led the club in scoring with 19 points per game, while Dennis Johnson, 16.6 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and Gus Williams, 16.3 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, were also dominant to Seattle's finals run throughout the playoffs. However, Wes Unseld was dominant inside the paint on both sides of the court, as seen by his rebounding figures. Wes, a winner and paint protector, had the final laugh as the Bullets won a highly anticipated Game 7, 105-99. 1982-1983 Finals MVP, Moses Malone. Final statistics, 25.8 points per game, 18 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game, 1.5 steals per game, and 1.5 blocks per game. In one of the craziest endings of the 1980s, the Philadelphia 76ers overcame the Los Angeles Lakers to win the NBA title. The first of 2 championships was won without the Lakers or Celtics winning the NBA title. The 76ers had lost their previous 2 finals meetings with them, so this was their ultimate act of retribution. The team's acquisition of Malone from the Houston Rockets was significant because it provided Philadelphia with a player capable of competing with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Philadelphia 76ers won the NBA title, and Moses Malone was awarded Finals MVP. Moses was dominant on both ends of the court, averaging 25.8 points per game, 18 rebounds per game, 1.5 assists per game, and 1.5 blocks per game. Moses was exceptional in all aspects of the game. In the series, he topped all players in points and rebounds, outplaying Kareem and leading his team to a 4-0 victory. He was 50.7% from the field with 1.5 steals per game and 1.5 blocks per game. Moses dominated the finals, earning his first and only Finals MVP title, as well as his first and only championship. 1984-85 Finals MVP, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Final statistics: 25.7 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 5.2 assists per game, 1 steal per game, and 1.5 blocks per game. The 1985 NBA Finals were one of the most exciting series in NBA history, owing to a highly anticipated rematch between the league's 2 finest teams, headed by arguably the league's 2 best players, the Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson would battle for the NBA title for the 2nd year in a row. However, there is no doubt that Kareem was the greatest player on the Lakers during the 1985 Finals because he came through for his team in crucial situations. With the series tied 2-2, the legendary center dropped 36 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks in a vital Game 5 triumph. The star center then led the charge in Game 6 to bring the goods to Los Angeles and defeat their arch rivals. Kareem was already the best center of all time in terms of individual honors after winning his 2nd Finals MVP title. To many, he was already the best big man in history, with only Bill Russell 11 titles coming close. 1993-94 Finals MVP, Hakeem Olajuwon. Final statistics: 26.9 points per game, 9.1 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game, 1.6 steals per game, and 3.9 blocks per game. Hakeem Olajuwon, the finest big man and all-around player in the NBA after Michael Jordan's retirement, had his best season in 1994. The Dream was named MVP and ended 3rd in scoring after leading the Houston Rockets to the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. Of course, Hakeem's true impact came during the team's outstanding finals performance. Hakeem won the finals against the New York Knicks thanks to his overpowering post-game and superior basketball IQ. The New York Knicks had no answer for the Dream's 26.9 points per game, which led all players in the series. After a tremendous season in 1995, Hakeem went on to win his 2nd straight championship. 1994-95 Finals MVP, Hakeem Olajuwon. Final statistics: 32.8 points per game, 11.5 rebounds per game, 5.5 assists per game, 2 steals per game, and 2 blocks per game. The legendary Houston Rockets center won the Finals MVP title again in 1995, recording monster two-way statistics and helping his team to a decisive final sweep over the Orlando Magic. Indeed, Olajuwon handled a youthful and dominating Shaquille O'Neal quite well. Shaq was fantastic for Orlando, averaging 28 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, 6.3 assists per game, and 2.5 blocks per game alongside Penny Hardaway. Even if the big guys were the series' main focus, Hakeem ultimately came out on top. Shaquille O'Neal was by far the larger and stronger player, but he was simply outskilled and outperformed by his seasoned opponent. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon outscored Shaq and led the Rockets to another decisive finals victory against O'Neal and the Magic. Olajuwon averaged 32.8 points per game, 11.5 rebounds per game, 5.5 assists per game, 2 steals per game, and 2 blocks per game in the finals, completely dominating the opposition in only 4 games. 1999-2000 Finals MVP, Shaquille O'Neal. Final statistics: 38 points per game, 16.7 rebounds per game, 2.3 assists per game, 1 steal per game, and 2.7 blocks per game. Shaquille O'Neal collected his first and only MVP award during the 2000 season, the same year the big man won his first NBA title. Shaq and Kobe Bryant led the Los Angeles Lakers to a league-best 67-15 record and completely dominated the NBA Finals, establishing beyond a doubt that he was the best player in the game at the time. Against the Indiana Pacers, the great center averaged 38 points per game, 16.7 rebounds per game, and 2.7 blocks per game. Rick Smits, Dale Davis, and Austin Crozier were just a few of the opposing big men that were demolished by the Diesel. Shaq had no significant competition since no one could match his strength and explosiveness, and the Lakers won in 6 games. 2000-2001 Finals MVP, Shaquille O'Neal. Finals statistics: 33 points per game, 15.8 rebounds per game, 4.8 assists per game, 0.4 steals per game, and 3.4 blocks per game. Shaquille O'Neal's 2001 season ranks among the most dominant in NBA history because the big man flat out destroyed Dikembe Mutombo, a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, in the post. During the NBA season, the legendary Lakers center was unstoppable, winning his second straight championship and earning his second consecutive Finals MVP award after dominating the Philadelphia 76ers. Shaq scored 33 points per game in the final series against the 76ers and decided to exert his will after Allen Iverson stole Game 1 of the series. Even though Kobe Bryant was excellent, Shaq had his chance to block the lane and dominate both ends of the floor, and especially at the rim during this series. In 2001, he totally outmatched 34-year-old Dikembe Mutombo on the floor, posting insane finals figures. 2001-2002 Finals MVP, Shaquille O'Neal. Final statistics: 36.3 points per game, 12.3 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists per game, 0.5 steals per game, and 2.8 blocks per game. Shaquille O'Neal earned the Finals MVP title with the Los Angeles Lakers for the 3rd year in a row, putting up outstanding numbers all over the court. The superstar center averaged 36.3 points per game in the series, once again dominating by outscoring the New Jersey Nets' Jason Kidd and Kenyon Martin. New Jersey was a strong team on both ends of the floor, but there still was no answer for Shaq in the post. Shaquille O'Neal was the Western Conference's nightmare for the 3rd year in a row, scoring at least 30 points per game in the finals while also being a force in the paint. Every time an opponent drove to the basket, they were either blocked or smacked on the behind. In many instances, O'Neal was the paint's Grim Reaper. With his 3rd consecutive Finals MVP, Shaq was already regarded as one of the most dominant players of all time, with only Wilt Chamberlain actually rivaling him in terms of strength and intimidation. We hope you enjoyed the video topic today. Subscribe to our channel, Full Court, for more interesting basketball topics.